continue to work on some of our comprehension skills by practicing a new reading strategy today. And that reading strategy is going to be summarizing. And summarizing is a really important skill because summarizing a text teaches you to figure out and to find what is the most important things about this text, and it helps you leave out all of the information that you don't need, and that's going to help you become a better reader. When you can figure out what's important and you can write and you can talk about it, you are going to understand better what you just read, and the better you understand, the better a reader you become. So as we summarize this text today, we're going to use a strategy by looking at this graphic organizer. And this strategy is aimed at helping you identify what are some of the key ideas, what are some of the key questions that we need to be answering in order to have a successful summary. So you'll see right here, one of the things we need to do is identify the main character. So somebody. And then we need to think about, well, what did that person want? Okay, somebody wanted something, but there's a problem. So what was the problem? And so once we've identified the problem, how did they deal with the problem, or how did they deal with the conflict? And then finally, how did it get resolved? Okay, so as always, I encourage you to stop the video now and have an attempt at this on your own. Read it by yourself, read it with somebody next to you, and see if you can fill out this graphic organizer on your own before we do it together. Okay, I'm going to start with the first thing we always do, which is we just want to read the text. We want to get an idea of what we're talking about or what we're reading about without worrying about any of this stuff just yet. Okay, so here we go. There was a bird that loved to listen to other birds sing. The bird listened to their songs and thought, I wish I could sing like that too. But the bird was unable to sing. All that the bird could do was make little clicking sounds, and it could make a sound like the wind. Nothing happened when the bird tried to sing, just a click, 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 whoosh sound came out. That's all that anyone ever heard from the bird. All the other birds laughed and laughed at her. They all joined in and taunted. Birds of a feather flock together. Even though you have feathers, you're not like us, so you can't be part of our flock. Oh dear, sighed the bird. She sat in her tree and worried. She wasn't exactly sure what a flock was, but she knew that other birds laughed at her. And she knew it was because she was different. The bird said to herself, no other birds will want to be my friends because they all think I'm strange. Every day the bird tried so hard to sing, but every day she just made the same clicking sound. One day, while perched in the forest, the bird heard a new sound. It was the sound of people talking. The bird stopped and listened intently. Then something very strange happened. The bird discovered she could talk, too. She was able to say the same words the people in the forest were saying. A man said, look at all the beautiful trees. Then the bird also said, look at all the beautiful trees. Another man asked, surprised, did you just hear that bird? It talked. The bird repeated, did you just hear that bird? It talked. Now, all the people in the forest stopped to listen to the bird speak. One person would say something, and then the bird would echo what he had said. The people left saying, what a special bird. They heard, what a special bird, as they walked out of the forest. The bird had followed them. Every day after that, people would come to the forest, and the bird would repeat what they said. Now all the other birds looked at her differently. You're our hero, they stated. You're such a special bird. After that day in the forest, the bird had many friends. She still couldn't sing, but she could talk. Although she was different, she and the other birds agreed that different was special. Being different felt very good. One bird said, being different is like being a diamond. There are many rocks, but there are not many diamonds. Sometimes you don't see how bright a diamond is at first. Now we see how great you are. You are our diamond. If you know someone who's different, remember this story. Everyone is special and everyone can do different things. Don't judge other people. See who they are, learn what they can do, be their friend. If you do that, you will find many special people. Okay, so we're going to come over here and we're going to start going through our graphic organizer. We're going to start finding this information in order to make a short summary of what this text is. So before we start, let's remember a summary is just the most important parts of it. It is not a retelling. You are not saying everything that happened. You are saying the most important parts. So the first part is the main character. So who is the main character? Who's the character that the story is mostly about? Well, if we go back, we can see that it starts by saying there was a bird. And we know, as we read it, a bird is the one that everything was happening to in the story. The bird was the one that couldn't sing. The bird was the one that was getting made fun of. Okay? So we know our main character is the bird. Okay? Well, what did the bird want to do? Well, let's see. Let's see if we can find where it says. It says, the bird listened to their songs and thought, I wish I could sing like that too. So what did the bird want? The bird wanted to be able to sing like the other birds. Okay? To be able to sing like the other birds. But we have a problem. Okay? What was the problem that the bird encountered? But the bird was unable to sing. All that bird could do was make little clicking sounds, and it could make a sound like the wind. Okay? So, the bird was unable to sing. And then look at this paragraph right here. It says, all the other birds laughed and laughed at her. Okay, so what was the problem? Well, the problem was, well, we don't know the character's gender, so let's just say the bird could not sing and was getting laughed at. So they were treating this bird pretty poorly. They didn't want to be its friend. Okay? So, how did they deal with this conflict? Or so how did the bird deal with the fact that all these people, or not all these people, excuse me, that these other birds were laughing at her. They were making fun of her. They said, you look like a bird, you have feathers, but you're not like us. You're different. Well, let's see. It says, one day, while perched in the forest, the bird heard a new sound. It was the sound of people talking. The bird stopped and listened intently. Then something very strange happened. The bird discovered she could talk. She was able to say the same words that people in the forest were saying. Okay? So the bird realized it could talk instead of sing. How did this make the bird feel? Well, look at it. They kept calling the bird special. This made her feel special. Okay. And so then how did everything resolved? How did everything kind of wrap up? What happened at the end? Well, right here. It says, every day after that, people would come to the forest and the bird would repeat what they said. Now all the other birds looked at her differently. You're our hero, they stated. You are such a special bird. After that day in the forest, the bird had many friends. She still couldn't sing, but she could talk. Although she was different, she and the other birds agreed that different was special. So how did it resolve? the other birds realized that she was special, even if she could not sing. Okay? So they realize that just because she can't sing, she has all of these other talents, all of these other skills. One of them being, well, she's able to talk just like people. Okay, so we have filled out our graphic organizer now, okay? So now we need to turn this into a summary because we have this great information, but it's not a summary yet. So I'm going to erase our text, okay? I'm going to erase our text, and now we're going to transfer this into a summary. So let's write at the top, summary. Okay, so our summary should be anywhere from, let's aim for 3 to 5 sentences. Just a short summary giving the most important details, which are right here. So that's why we did that, okay? So let me block this off and let's write a summary now. So I'm going to use our colors again to help us. So how would we start our summary off? Well, let's start by saying this story is about well, who's it about? It's about a bird. Okay? It's about a bird. Okay, we've done that one. Let's cross it off. Now let's go to our orange. Let's talk about what did that bird want? The bird wanted to be able to sing like other birds. Okay, we have said now what the bird wanted. We're going to keep going straight down. Okay, so now we have our problem. However, the bird, I'm just copying what we have. I might add a little bit of extra detail just to help kind of connect some of the ideas, but in general, all I'm doing is I am writing exactly what I've written down on my graphic organizer. So, however, the bird could not sing, and this caused her to get made fun of. This caused her to get made fun of. So we have talked about the problem. We're done. Okay, let's go to the next one. Well, how did she deal with this? Okay, how did she come to terms with it? Well, she realized that even though she could not sing, she could talk to people. Okay? This made her feel special. Okay, we're done with that one. How did it resolve? Finally, because we're at the end, so finally, the other birds, well, what did they realize? The other birds realized that she was special, even if she couldn't sing. And we could say why too. Because we didn't say why they realized that she was special. Well, they realized she was special even if she couldn't sing because she could talk to people. Okay, done. The end. Let's just see how many sentences we ended up getting here. So there's 1. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. There's 5. Look at that. We had 1 sentence for every part of our graphic organizer. This is a summary of a text. It is the most important information. It is not a retelling. Okay, it is 3 to 5 sentences that tell you the meat of the story. What is it that somebody who's never read this story, what can I say to them to help them understand what's happening in the story without just rereading or retelling the entire passage or the entire book to them. Okay? I want you to go back, watch this video again, try to do this summary again, maybe on your own. Find another book, find a chapter, try to do a summary in one of those chapters, and let me know how you did. As always, good luck, learners. I'll see you in the next video.